The last lapse of the State of the Nation conversation this morning with the lady and gentlemen as we unpack the politics of the day, but of importance, some of the questions of development and what we are doing as a nation in terms of getting that growth that is critical to survival and the growth of the nation. Yes. So we come back to, perhaps I would begin with you. I don't think your name betrays you as much, especially as to the conversation that we're having.
Yes.
And so that Rigiji should tone down for the sake of the sanity of, and also for the sake of the mountain, because there's this, it's very difficult not to say that Rigathi Gachagua speaks for the mountain. It is very difficult not to say that he's probably not the kingpin as it stands right now. Others would argue that it is still Uhuru Kenyatta, but we seem to see him so much so, you know, wearing this face of the mountain, which is a good thing politically. Yeah. But is it again a misfortune for them, looking at the things that he keeps saying?
Well, it's very interesting. Perhaps from where I come from as an individual and from my own background, having lived outside this country in Tanzania for 10 years, the formative stages of my life, I try to think differently. I look at Kenya in totality because we are actually desperate collection of tribes. And at times when we underrate the influence of a tribe, you underrate at your own risk. Therefore, politics in Africa is informed by three things. Somebody's charisma, and therefore you say ODM is Raila's party, UDA is Ruto's party, DCP is Gachagwa's party, because of that individual charisma. The second issue is that we weaponize the word tribe, such that, as you are saying, the two of them, their names betray them, because it's like they are not supposed to think outside the collective thinking of the community where they come from.
Right.
I've had the privilege of not only living in Tanzania, but also living in Trans Nzoia. Trans Nzoia is a number of communities living together, and they have learned to coexist.
Right.
But once in a while, they are betrayed by their own tribal conclave to the extent that they betray their individual thinking. That component, which is very important, is that we have made our politics devoid of philosophy, such that we want to go for what is popular. And what is popular has been created by the narrative of William Ruto. William Ruto, when he was under 50, he was using the age as a factor of winning an election.
Right.
Now that he realizes he will be 60 plus in the next election, he's not using the age. Is trying to use the narrative that we in the opposition must be having competing programs and projects running alongside the man who is collecting all our taxes. And we seem to be buying. Listening to everybody now in Kenya, we seem to be comparing ourselves with the president, and yet he gets all our money, we get none. Whatever I'm getting is only pension. You don't expect my pension to build a road from my village to the next tarmac road. These are some of the things that we are forgetting. Now, this narrative of making Gachagua the monster in the room is just to make sure that the 47% of all the votes William garnered in the last election came from Gachagua's relatives.
Right.
And therefore, you want to balkanize those votes and demonize them and make them look they are so tribal. And yet, in some corners of this republic, you are told you cannot fight the president because we speak the same mother tongue. For me, that is all the politics.
Okay.
What we need to do is to think holistically. In Africa today, even somebody at the age of 85 still garners votes and he becomes president, like what has happened in Malawi. So this issue of saying the same old guys, the same old forest, different monkeys, or the same old monkeys, different forests, for me, it does not fly.
Okay.
Kibaki was a politician for that 7 years. But Kenyans saw it fit to give him a chance to be president for 10 years. Everybody is saying Kibaki did this. You cannot compare Kalonzo Musyoka and William Ruto. When Kalonzo Musyoka, the only position he occupied was that of vice president. William Ruto is the president.
Okay.
Give a chance to Kalonzo Musyoka to be president, then now that comparative is likely to carry the day. You cannot say Kirwa has not done what William has done in his former constituency, because I was not president when I was MP for Cherangani. And therefore, I did what an MP does. So compare William when he was running CDF, where all the money, all the materials were supplied by certain designated person so that he goes back to take some kind of cut. Okay. You cannot compare Kirwa with William, who is a president. If I was to be president for 5 months, I'll make a difference in Kenya. Okay. What will I do different? I will make sure that there is no corruption. And I will divorce myself of the national resources, knowing that whatever I'm getting as salary or as influence in the country is enough not to take a penny from the government. Nyerere died.
You know what?
Having been president for 24 years, he has only 52 acres in his home called Putiama. That is a village that I lived in for 10 years. Today, ask yourself, how many acres does Ruto have in Trans Nzoia? How many does he have in Taita Taveta? How many does he have in Narok?
Interesting.
How many does he have in Laikipia? Mutara Ranch?
All right.
For the next 30 years, he has 15,000 acres. Now, when you talk of Gulalu Galana, it's not a government project, it's William Ruto's project. So let me tell you, Linda, at times I feel tired of discussing anything about this regime. This is a regime that has gone rogue and is destined to destroy this country.
All right.